So I started about 12 years ago when I first arrived in the UK from Lisbon. I was doing telecommunications engineering in university and decided that I wanted to have a break. I wasn't very happy with the course. So I came to London and I did the Cordon Bleu, which was for 1 year. And I did the full Grand Diplôme, so basic, intermediate, and then the advanced course, pastry as well. We started as just a 1 year off of university, but then I got really hooked into it. And then at the time, the teachers that I had working and teaching at the Cordon Bleu were all ex-Michelin star guys, and they started putting me forward to restaurants. So the first one was La Gavroche. I was doing the course and then working there, and I just got so addicted to the buzz of working in a restaurant that I just went in there full-time straight after I finished the Cordon Bleu, and I haven't looked back since. So it's been Michelin star after Michelin star after Michelin star. And then a little bit of a break from the restaurants, did a bit of a corporate dining for the guys in the city, then helped set up a company called Cuisson before this, and now decided to do my own thing. The time is right. We set up Pedro Passinhas, which is the name of the company. It's got my name to it. So yeah, it can't go wrong, because otherwise it's my name on there. And this is where we're at. We're a brand new company, just setting up, about 3 months old, just taking over. So this place that we're in now, it's primarily is going to be used as an atelier for handmade denim clothes, but within the space there's our production kitchen. So everything's open plan. We decided to set up here because it's within a community of artists around. There's metal workers, sculptors, painters, all of this community around us, plus these guys here, and we thought it would be really cool to try and do something with collaboration. So we set up a kitchen here in the space, and this space that we're filming now actually will be converted then to a sort of a pop-up restaurant, let's say, running every week with different menus all the time. The place is pretty unusual because I don't think anywhere in London you get a kitchen inside a workshop, basically. So we're quite excited to have this done up and get started with it. So working with Linwoods, I started looking with Linwoods, our fish suppliers, about, I think 6-7 years ago. And we started with the director's dining, and they were already involved in the supplying of the fish. And the ethos of the company, this was a law firm that we were doing the catering for, and they wanted the very best fresh produce that they could get the hands on. And then this is what Linwoods was very good to use, because we placed an order daily with them, and it was always the best fish that we could get around. It's a family-owned company, so it was very easy to get in touch with them and explain exactly what we needed. Sometimes we threw things at them that they were like, "Oh, you're crazy, how are we going to get that?" But they always came through, and we're very, very lucky. And then we established a good relationship with them, and we're still using them to this day. So the food that we do is modern European is the best way to describe it. It takes a lot of, I got a lot of influences from the restaurants that I worked, like the Fat Duck, and a few others that are quite experimental with the way that they come up with the food and the ideas. It's also seasonal, so we're dictated by what's around rather than using things that are not in season. We like to use the best ingredients that we can, so working with people like Linwoods for the fish. We've got a very good meat supplier, we've got very good veg suppliers, all within season, all within London, or within the UK at least. And what we do different is that we like to come up with different ways of combining ingredients that people would not necessarily have seen or would not necessarily think that it would work. But once they taste the food, they're like, "Oh wow, it's amazing. I didn't know that coffee would go with carrots." And then we use modernist techniques of cooking, like sous vide cooking, using a lot of different, what they call the modern pantry ingredients, to just come up with different, like hot ice creams, hot jellies, things like that. We have a little twist on all the dishes that bring it to a bit more modern, contemporary feel, but it's always European. You know, my background is French food from the Cordon Bleu, but I take influences from Portugal, where I was born, Spanish, Italian, and then also sometimes Asian food comes into play. So modern European, sometimes global inspiration. So as a company, we're trying to establish 3 fronts of business, let's say. So one of them being private dining, where we go into people's houses and we can do anything from a buffet to canapes to a formal full-on sit-down meal. So the idea is that we bring the restaurant to your house. We'll bring the front of house staff, we'll bring all the catering equipment, the service, whatever's needed, and then we'll provide you an amazing meal. Clean up after that, and then we'll be out of it, and it's like we were never there. And then you can, just take the time off to enjoy a drink with your friends and some really good food. That's one side of it. So private dining. We also do events, so anything from weddings to whatever the case might be within the private dining sort of thing. The next front, like I said, was the pop-ups, where we want to try and do some here in our own venue, and then we have other venues around London that we work with to kind of change the feel and the dynamic and the theme of every dinner or lunch or whatever we happen to be doing. And then the other side of it that we like to get into is developing our own delicatessen product and working with different shops. We do actually have a butcher's that is interested in having our products, so type of Scotch eggs, terrines, pâtés, ready-made sauces, so people can go in, buy the meat, and then take the sauce ready with them, or something as simple as a salt cure or something that they can season the meat with, and then other deli products, and have them in selected shops. In this case, is a butcher's with a deli. That'll be the 3 main things that we're going to be focusing on at the beginning. So a pop-up started many years ago, and it's a concept that literally people take over the most unusual spaces and they set up for a day to a week, depending on what they're doing. It could be anything from a clothes shop, it could be anything from a bar, or in this case a restaurant, where you're using a venue that is not there originally for that purpose, and you're setting up as something else, and you have a very limited time frame, and you sell tickets, or people can come in, drop in, but then if you come in next week, it won't be there anymore. So it's literally pop up and then disappear. Perfect. Cool.